Back now for a better part of this week. On Tuesday and on Thursday, we have seen hundreds of thousands of young people take to the streets in different parts of the country, all of them rejecting the Finance Bill 2024. We have some of them with us in studio to talk more about what even got them to demonstrate, why this is something that they're extremely passionate about, and why we feel as though for the first time we are hearing more and more people chiming in and giving their opinion about the finance bill. Hi guys.
Hi.
How are you? You know, Mike Mushiri, I was supposed to invite you on this show a long time ago, but you know, this would not have been the first conversation we would have had. But I'm glad that it is.
I'm glad.
It's a good thing, and you know, I also would love to talk about your character, but he's not here for that. He's not here for that. So let me just introduce everybody first. Amy Ouya. Amy Ouya, Anita Baraza, we have Murugi Muni, and we have Mike Mushiri. How are you guys?
We're good.
How are, you know, just regarding everything.
You didn't introduce her.
Oh, I didn't. I'm so sorry. Anita Baraza.
Yeah.
So sorry. How did I not? Anini nevenendo star. Mtoto wa Gwambo. Nataka kuingia kwa shida hapa. Nataka kuingia kwa shida. All right. So now that everyone has been introduced, I'm so glad to have you guys in the studio. Truly. Is this your first time demonstrating, all of you? Let me start with Amy.
For me, it's my first time. Yeah, it's my first time demonstrating about like nationally, like about things that affect everyone. Yeah.
Okay. Now, Amy went viral after she shared this video on social media.
To have tear gas flavors, because amwezi kwa tu mnatumia pilipili flavors. Pakeni mint, ka vape. Copy vape mtengeneze tear gas zingine. Kama wewe unaonaje?
True. Any like minty ice.
Any minty ice. Pilipili flavor. Yeah. Like, shop around. Let's invest in that.
Let's see, we can do better. What you were just looking down the whole time. How shocked were you that you saw this everywhere? You thought you were just posting for the, you know, the few people who follow you, the guys who know you.
Yeah. Then I had like 1,000 and something followers, and I was posting for them to show them that we had started as 4 people who were coming for the Maandamanos on Tuesday. And I was showing them, come for the Maandamanos, tear gas is nothing. We are peaceful and you're throwing tear gas at us and you think that will stop us. Like, we are peaceful. Tear gas is thrown where there's chaos and we were still peaceful and all that. And we had that thrown at us and they thought we'd pack our bags and run home. And we were saying, no, we're not going home. We'll stay here till you listen to what we have to say.
Yeah. You said when you said you were 4 people, was Anini?
Yeah,
of course.
Part of that? Oh, you no, I know you were present. I'm wondering if you're part of the 4 that she's talking about. So also you guys know each other.
Yeah.
Oh, are you in school together? Are
No, we're part of an initiative for the youth called Wagwa Nairobi, and we co-founded it. Her, I, and one of our friend called Rob. You've seen him in the video. Yeah.
I'm a own Naji.
Yes, Okay, so you all went viral. You were just together.
Yeah.
You recorded yours. And I don't know if you guys have seen, so everyone calls you Anini, I imagine. Okay, fine. So by now I'm so sure you have seen Anini's video, which I think surprised very many people. Now, she did a couple of them that went viral, so I'm not sure which one we're going to play. But, oh yeah, okay, so let's start with this one. Let's just watch this one.
Agombo, this is a message to you. Usitoke, don't come. Agombo, please stay at home. We saw your efforts, okay? We saw everything that you did for Kenya. Now let us. We miss you, but Agombo, please don't even come outside. Don't come outside. Tunatoka on your behalf, okay?
Watu wakasema ati huyo ni nani? And I saw today in the newspaper they called you Raila's daughter.
Yeah, because that's what's up.
Yeah.
I'm Raila's last born. Yeah.
Now this.
If you see this, unikujie tu.
Yeah. Uende. Now you're not new to this. Your father is just as brave. Tell us a bit about your dad.
Well, I can't speak much on it, but I can say that I did get it from him. Like it's in the DNA.
Yeah. All right. So we hosted him earlier on the 9 o'clock news, if I am not mistaken. But of course, you can watch back the interview. He's also just as brave, just as vocal. And I think this bravery, we saw it across the board. Murugi, I know they have said it's a Gen Z-led war. Millennials, wako huko nyuma mahali.
To represent the millennials.
Yeah?
We are also here.
Yes, tuko hapa, tuko wengi, tuko wengi. Now,
I also count myself as a millennial.
Are you?
I'm a Gen Z.
Okay.
But with
With millennial habits. Millennial like...
Okay, mini Gen Z.
ni Gen Z mature.
Yeah.
Okay, sawa.
Imagine.
Live. Murugi, so you went for the demonstrations on Tuesday, and you were sharing about the finance bill even before then. What is this your first time to demo, by the way? Not like, because I saw you during the femicide.
Femicide.
Yes.
So I'd say this is my second one. This has been the year for demonstrations.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'd say this is my second, but this is the first, like, let me say, on a political issue, on such a strong political issue. Because the femicide, it was more a social issue.
Yeah.
And this one feels very political. Yeah,
It
so I'd say
is
this is
very
my first political one, yeah.
Yeah. You're going against Gava. It doesn't get as political
more
as
political
this.
than this.
You were
True.
arrested.
I was.
For how long did you stay?
I was in jail or / prison for 5 hours, and it was such a long 5 hours. My God! First of all, without your phone. You know, if they put you in there, but you're with your phone, afadhali, but you're without your phone. So I was in there for 5 hours. Luckily, I was with my cousin. Hi, Sharon. I was with my cousin in there, and like a whole bunch of men, women. I think everyone saw the videos of like people in there singing and whatnot. So at least there was like some solidarity and some camaraderie in there, and we knew people were outside fighting for our release. But it was still really, really like terrifying, honestly, to be and traumatic to be in there for that long.
Yeah. Especially because you didn't do anything wrong.
Exactly.
You were not doing anything wrong.
That is the thing.
If you were looting, you wouldn't have been shocked or destroying
exactly.
property.
And then on Tuesday, I feel like because there was a lot less people demonstrating, they took advantage of that because we were like in smaller groups, so it was easy for them to like isolate people and like try to shock people, and then everyone's just like, we're scared. But yesterday it was like a whole sea of people, which is they were overwhelmed, so they had no option but just to let people demonstrate. But Tuesday was scary.
Okay. Now, of course, everyone has by now seen Mushidi's video as well, one of the first people to really try and explain why this is something everyone should be talking about. If you have any platform, no matter who you are, you think you have 100 followers, whatever, everybody should talk about it. This thing of saying that politics is not for me should stop, right, Mike?
It definitely should. I see a gap, and interestingly, the government officials are trying to say that Gen Zs are protesting, or the youth are protesting, and they are not informed. First of all, we are informed. We are very knowledgeable on what we are vocal about. And while I do agree that it's important to be well informed, our energy, effort, and passion is driving conversations on issues that directly impact our future. And that's why every single youth should be vocal about it. Yeah, and we're not just protesting against the finance bill. We're protesting against all the punitive policies, all the policies that are not working on the behalf of not just the youth, but holistically for every Kenyan citizen. Yeah, and that's why there's need for representation of the youth. And you see, majority of the population in Kenya are the youth, people between the age of 18 and 35. But our representation, is it really there? Even the young MPs, the young members of the parliament, most of them voted yes. Clearly, you can go on Twitter and see the numbers. As much as they are trying to say that we're not informed, we are educating ourselves. Even myself, even if it means we're about to do a massive civic education on social media, and social media. Thank God social media has become very instrumental in this whole thing. And even if it means educating ourselves on matters, agriculture, health, let it out.
It's okay. It's okay.
Yeah, even if it means educating ourselves on every social issue, on every single issue.
Yes.
Yeah, we are going to do that.
We're going to do that.
Yeah, and I'm so glad that we've been able to translate the finance bill into several languages.
That was my next thing. I was just about to tell you.
I'm busting your bubble. So we've managed to translate the finance bill in Kikuyu, Dholuo, Kikamba, Meru. We've also done it in Taita, Kisii. We are about to do it in Somali.
As you
Luya.
should. What I think, kuna moja tu alivote no. So that one is very necessary.
Yeah. So we are very intentional about it, and we're gonna get the civic education. We're gonna get the information out there.
Yeah.
Paka kwa wale my youth and everyone kwa mashinani. Because information is power. When you know something, you know what to do about it. When you don't know something, you don't know what to do about it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Because you don't know.
Yeah.
You don't know what you don't know.
Yeah.
And that's why it has been business as usual for very many decades.
Yeah.
And now young people are saying, sawa, labda tuna pesa lakini tuko na knowledge. Tulisoma vitabu. Now, do we have Mushidi's clip, by the way? All right, can we please play it?
With everything that's going on, I don't think there is any Kenyan who can afford to have no political bearing. We must be aware of all the affairs happening within the political scene, whether you're young, old, Gen Z, millennial, farmer, doctor, content creator, we must all have a political stance. I have read the finance bill and gathered some information from Twitter, news articles, and this is why you should be worried about the finance bill. Let me first of all begin by saying this. The current sabotage of every pillar of the society by the current government seems a bit too intentional. And by the pillars of the society, I mean education, healthcare, transport, businesses, economy, etc. You know, I find it interesting that the Finance Bill 2024 is being shoved down our throats. But most government officials, if not all of them, are actually unable to break it down for Kenyans. MP Mbere North was unable to elucidate the finance bill and the four engines of the economy. MP Elders could not support his narrative around the Finance Bill 2024. We saw MP Kuria Kimani the other day on national television saying that they're introducing tax on bread because they are concerned about diabetes in Kenya. What kind of an argument is that? We also the video of nominated Senator Karen Nyamo being asked about the finance bill, and she has no clue whatsoever. Deputy Commissioner Kenya Revenue Authority literally embarrassed himself on national television because he could not explain the motor vehicle tax. The PS Treasury was on national television stammering because he could also not explain the motor vehicle tax. The PS Housing could not explain the housing levy. Health Cabinet Secretary could not explain what social health insurance fund entails. The President's press team could not give a solid explanation to validate the cost of his trip to the United States. My question is, why are these elected and appointed leaders lacking basic understanding of the roles within their jurisdiction? Their inability to explain simple policies and the finance bill itself leaves Kenyans with even further questions. I am no conspiracy theorist, but I just want to ask, is there a correlation between the government suddenly being concerned about overpopulation and their failure to provide vaccines for children in the hospitals? Not to mention, and now we begin breaking down the Finance Bill 2024, they want to introduce a 16% VAT on cancer treatment, which is currently tax-free. Imposing VAT on cancer treatment is simply outrageous, if you ask me. As it is, Kenyans are tired, because NHIF doesn't work for common mananchi.
Now, the clip goes on for quite some time, and he's also translated it like he had said in Kikuyu. He was the first one to do it, and then everyone started doing it, because this is not a war young people can win alone. You want to go back and, you know, talk to your moms, your dads, your grandparents. What do you individually find most punitive in the bill? Let me start with you, Murugi.
So for me, obviously the issue that I'm most passionate about, because my platform is all about empowering women, educating women, entertaining women, all about women, is the eco levy, which will be on, you know, sanitary towels, on diapers, especially what they have said now is the imported ones. And of course, they have now, with the report of the committee, said that now it will only be on the imported ones, it won't be on the local ones, because they're trying to boost local manufacturing of sanitary towels and diapers. Now, the biggest issue with that is that, one, this is a country where so many women are facing period poverty. Why would we be putting our citizens in a situation where it is even harder for women to be able to access pads and diapers. It just does not make any sense. Secondly, it doesn't make sense for you to be saying that now, okay, we're all going to now move to start using local sanitary pads and diapers when you don't know what the impact of this is going to be. Assuming that now these local manufacturers will have the capacity to produce the quality and the amount of sanitary towels and diapers that are needed by local, like by mothers and by girls is, I mean, have they done that research for them to be like, yeah, we know that there's that capacity here. Do they know whether or not we want that variety? Do we want that option of being able to, you know, still buy those international ones? I mean, I feel like there was, I don't know if it was Oscar Studio who was saying that we just want you guys to be able to like experience the local ones. We don't know, it's for the sake of the girls and the women. We don't know what raw materials are being used in the imported ones. For me as a woman, and for my daughters, when they eventually will start using those pads, I want them to have the option. I feel like when any choices being taken away from women by men already just feels like no one has asked you to do that. Yeah. I want the option to choose which pads I use. I want the option to choose which diapers I use for my children. I do not want you to start coming and telling me you can only use these ones and these ones are the ones which are going to be cheaper. For all they know, for these local manufacturers could also just decide to increase the prices of those pads and those diapers because now we are creating monopolies, and now if there's no competition from the international ones, what if they just decide to make pads like a shit ton of money, you know? So I would love to see those taxes dropped completely, whether it is imported sanitary towels and diapers or even locally manufactured ones. Really, if there are free condoms, there should be free diapers. There should be free sanitary towels for girls.
Yeah, okay. What are your thoughts about female politicians who, you know, spoke up and, you know, kuna ule mwenye alipinshiwa?
Dustbin.
Abuju-buju.
Abuju-buju, really?
I feel like dustbin.
Yeah. Because you would hope that they would say, no, this is wrong.
Yeah.
We are already struggling to afford it, right?
Exactly.
Okay. All right.
I like, in fact, it just goes to show that whatever it is that she has been doing with the billboards and what clearly was all political, because now it is time to put your money where your mouth is. Now you have the opportunity to make these things cheaper for us. You have the opportunity for us to all have access to these things, but instead you want to make it more difficult for us to access them. Yeah. Surely then you can't have been, you know, you can't have been being honest all along.
In fact, back in 2004, Kenya was the first country, I think, to drop the 16% VAT on sanitary pads. We were praised globally. I don't know what happened at some point, but here we are. Yes, Mike?
I think it's a good thing that this whole Reject the Finance Bill 2024 is really exposing the character and the real personalities of these politicians. First of all, the female government official who was, you know, blah, blah, blah. It really shows that her campaign for sanitary pads was really just PR.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and it was from a place of hypocrisy. Because how do you not speak up against the punitive tax on sanitary pads, and your whole brand as a politician is fighting for free access to sanitary pads? And actually, from the protests and from the way these politicians have been addressing the Gen Zs and the youth, we can clearly see, it's very visible that this is a government that's very unwilling to find a balance between raising revenue and economic stability.
And if I may add on to what you two have said, what Murugi and Mike has said, if she wasn't driven by PR, hiyo pesa ya billboard yawa, si uchuku ununue pads upe watoto. Some people out here, we have period poverty in Kenya, yeah? So you can take the money, hiyo billboard make up for how long? How much is it a month?
Nasi billboard moja ni billboard mob.
Hey, na uchukue tu hiyo pesa ulitumia kuweka hizo billboards, upe watu, like we have so many children homes, uende uwapatie hizo pads, uwapatie diapers. Girl, just be for real.
Let's not forget someone said, oh, I don't have a problem with that. I use tampons.
I use tampons. Girl,
be serious.
Well, this is really Gen Z. What?
Be for real.
Millennials always trying to be politically correct, you know.
Yeah, I think it's because also there's a fear that they don't have.
Yeah.
Remember, we have glimpses of Jogo House and like memories of Moi, and you know, so we're still like one foot in, one foot like, I don't I don't know. So maybe that's why. Maybe that's why.
I think the biggest mistake the old people in this country, especially the old people in leadership and the government in general, the biggest mistake they have is to underestimate the power and the energy and the passion that the Gen Zs know that. And I don't like the way Gen Zs are being talked about, because it sounds very condescending by every politician. I mean, a few hours ago, a certain politician today said these Gen Zs are protesting with iPhones, alafu wakitoka kuprotest wanakuja protest na Uber, wanapiga mapicha na iPhones, alafu wanaenda kukula KFC. That really shows what they think about us. And I'm so glad that this has really stirred up a lot.
Can I just add on to that then? You know, kama umesema wanaenda KFC na
wanaingia protest na Uber
na simu wako na iPhones,
wanapiga ma videos na iPhone.
But then doesn't that tell you shouldn't tear gas people like that they're not coming here to steal or to cause any? They're not that everyone who came, I think, that I saw was very peaceful. Kuna mtu alishikwa kwa sababu alikuwa naiba simu. They told him, you go to the cops because that's not our agenda. People who were burning down things, that was not part of it.
I think there's a strategy, because for the longest time, I don't know if I'm allowed to say this, for the longest time, politicians have used tribalism to divide, to cause division in Kenya. But now everyone is coming together. We are translating the finance bill in Kikuyu, Kikamba, Kimeru, meaning that we are going beyond tribe. We are seeing beyond tribe. And now they're using classism to put the division now among the youth. Because what the hell, why would you say that as a politician? Ati tunaingia protest na Uber, tunaingia KFC, tukisha choka, tunapiga ma videos. It really says a lot. It really says a lot. And I hope, you know, I'm not even hoping, I know that we're going to remember all this because we're documenting it. And I'm so glad social media has been so instrumental in this whole protest.
What if social media shut down? You know that has happened?
We're still
our president has vowed that would never happen here. But that was before all this. Before this. And the fact that it's not, you know, led by a politician, it makes it harder to call back the troops. Because who are we calling? It's not even Boni. People went there by themselves. You went there as a Kenyan. You went there as a Kenyan. You went there as a Kenyan. You wanted to...
You know, Amina, I find it so funny that he's saying, we came in Ubers. We recorded the video in the Uber. And we posted in the Uber. Anasema tunaenda KFC. We recorded a video at Java, posted it. Anasema tunatumia iPhones. I have the 13 Pro Max. I am not privileged.
Oh, you're like, speak to me direct.
Yeah. To me directly.
Don't go through the corners.
Like, umekuja ukanitafuta TikTok, ukaona. Like, this is not how, that just goes to say that you should not, like, think of us as, like, protesters when you tunakuja kuiba. Like, we're here, let's say watu wenye watoto watajiri, pia wao wako kwa ground. Pia sisi tunakuja kufaitia rights zetu. Because we won't be babied forever.
Doesn't affect us directly as heavily as much as it affects parents of kids in this country. So that's why we are here. Everything that's in that bill is affecting our parents more than it does us. And our parents need a break. Personally, mine do. They've educated me, they've fed me, I'm here. Like,
waiting to work.
Like, look at how I look. Hey, hapa wamefanya kazi.
I mean,
they need a break.
That's a good message, but I want to correct her. Finance bill in effect, every single one.
No, I think what she's trying to say is maybe tax-wise, you know,
it's affecting
our
parents.
I can add.
And Murugi and every other millennial who has paid those taxes, ndo kwa maana walienda kwa barabara. Okay, because years ago when people were saying, oh, you know, come to the streets because this and that, people maybe were not paying taxes, but now that they are, which I think is what you were saying, that your parents are the ones who are directly contributing. There are a lot of young people representing, I'm sure, their folks, their uncles,
because when you think about it, finance bill is so, it's cutting across every demographic. Whether you're a newborn, they're adding taxes on diapers.
Nappies, because apparently real women use nappies and wash.
Did you see that clip?
Yeah.
That is how you knew a good wife. I think that's what he said.
That's how you knew good wife, because you know you're washing your nappies.
Some of these things they say they're so unbelievable. And That's all I can. They're so unbelievable.
Because why? Yeah. With positions of power, the ones we elected and put. Oh my goodness.
And you just speak out of unafungua mdomo una.
2027.
Nimeona list. Yama MPs. There is, of course, people have been told what to do over the next few days. Oscar, why are you laughing? And why would you laugh so loudly, so randomly? What is wrong with you? Okay, Osoro wants to say something. Can we find him on camera? He just started laughing hysterically. I don't know. Is it kushika sai?
No, Amira, it's how you put it. We have the list of shame. Of course, it's a list of shame. And then it's how, you know, the KOT was coming up with the list, and then wanawaambia ndio hizi namba zao. Fanyeni vile mnataka. You know, that kind of a setup. And then kwa comments unaona Wakenya haya wacha tu wasalimie. You know, it was so hilarious, but at the end of the day the message is home that it's a very nice way of it's a current ultra modern activism enye bado gava hata ijajua ideal na wao aje. Look at the protest. Unashindwa ushike nani? Kila mtu ndiye analidio maandamano. Hujui nani aliorganize. Watu wameingia na mauba, unangoja watu wanatembea kutoka Kibera, watu waliingia tao. Kumbe watu wako kwa restaurant wanangoja tu firimbia kwanza. Wase watu wanatoka.
That's true.
So it was really nice, and I was having a conversation with the Gen Zs, and other wengine wanasema msiwaite Gen Zs, these are Kenyans protesting. Mkijaribu kusema oe, but anyway, whichever way one would want to look at it, ni ati we are having the conversation. Some were saying, but wengine wanakani kama wajui, but I'm like, but at least they have set up the conversation. And the fact that I think one of them has answered, whoever was asking, sasa mnafaitia nini? If somebody was in doubt exactly what they want, basi mngine ashasema, basi we are doing it for our parents, you know? Like, mmewanyanyasa, acha tuseme wao wameshindwa kuongea, ama kuna parent atashindwa. And I like the approach that si maparo wetu wanashindwa kiacha hustle, tutakula nini na watoi wetu? Basi wacha watoi wafanye nini? Waingie na message iko home by at the end of the day. But I like hiyo yenye umesema ati the list was out na wakaambiwa fanyeni vile mnataka. That's why I laughed, I mean, because tushafanya vile tunataka.
Have you guys seen I think it's in Nyeri. Isn't it? Is it Nyeri or Muranga? There's somewhere anyway, and people went to the MP's house, the residence.
It was
I was very taken aback again because no one called them. They just went.
Gen Z.
And the Mukapatana. Yeah, and that didn't have a lot of Gen Zs. You could tell it was older people. That's what was very surprising. Yeah. Now I want us to go back before we finish. What you find punitive as well? I mean, I know there are a number of them, but what do you find?
There's a proposal to amend the Data Protection Act, which gives power to the Kenya Revenue Authority and every government institution to access your personal information for the assessment, enforcement, and collection of tax. So that means they want access to your information regarding your banking, M-Pesa, business, anything. This is, it sounds punitive, and it is punitive. Yeah.
What about you, Amy?
Apart from the eco-levy and the sanitary pads, I find the section about the content creators tax, which was lowered to, I think, 3%, which I find crazy because as a content creator, there's no platform for us to grow where we were supported, so that when you tax us, we're like, oh yeah, you gave me this, now you want some of it, okay. But you have to work for what you want. As a content creator, you have to work hard to create that content. You have to work hard and edit the content. And we don't have any, like, there's no, before this bill, there was no, like, you'll get a ring light at a cheaper price because that's content creating, we're building the new world and all that stuff. None of that. And now you want to tax us on top of that after we have had to buy our own equipment. Aside from that, there's also a section, and I've talked about it a lot. It's the one that says if you're 25 years and above, unemployed, living with your contributor, that's your parent, you'll pay $300 per month. So unemployed,
300 a month times 12 months, it's 4,000. Unemployed, I'm not 25 yet, but think about someone who is unemployed and they feed hand to mouth. Their parents earn that day and they feed them that day. So tell me how someone will earn, your parents will be, that's why I was saying it's about our parents. So because I'm unemployed and I'm trying to work for a job, yes, I've gone to school, but I can't find a job. My parents will be forced to take the burden of that 300 shillings if I can't come up with it. Yeah. That's it.
Ah, okay.
I can add on this one. There's a clause that says the government will convert your land to leases. So they will assess your land, and then they will apply, there will be an applicable lease rent. So a land that has existed in your family for years, you're gonna pay for it annually, and then when you're unable to pay for it, we know that we know the drill. Yeah. The government is gonna take your land. Yeah.
Wow. There's so many. Have they mentioned all the ones that?
No.
Okay, tell me.
Okay, for me, the expenditure is crazy. For you to be increasing tax and expecting us to just sit down and watch you guys put 800 million aside and it's confidential. Hey, guys, 800 million uchukwe to you help the poor, or tarara, all that tax that you said that you're adding. Ukitoa to 800 million, najua tutashuka significantly and we'll go back to where we were. Budget year 2023-2024. Like, another thing is like, oh, CG, the First Lady houses, offices,
salary,
696 million.
Yeah.
Oh my God, that is insane. So if you reduce the expenditure, now will reduce your tax. I feel like we'll come to an agreement. You get?
Yeah.
Yeah. Na tuone penye pesa yetu inaenda.
Okay. There's 2.4 billion, I think, that was proposed for the DP. What are your thoughts on it?
Oh my God.
Our issue is the finance bill. Sitasemati, our issue is not even the finance bill. We have an issue with the finance bill. But the main issue here, we are seeking accountability for the expenditure of the taxes. Because, and again, I will say this again, it's very visible and very clear that the government is very unwilling to find a balance between raising revenue and economic stability. Because we saw the budget they've set aside for running office is like way more than the budget set for development.
Yeah.
But like, why is the budget set aside for running the offices and running all the activities within the government offices? Why is it more than the development? And the development is crucial to the country and to every citizen. Yeah, and I'm assuming development of the country affects every single pillar. When it comes to health, agriculture, and everything. Yeah, that goes to show where the priorities are.
Yes.
Yeah, as a government.
Yeah, I just to add to what you're saying, even just as a person, as an individual, as a mother, as in someone who runs a household, if you have a budget which is here, but what you're earning is here, or what your income is here, it just makes sense that you're like, okay, I will need to reduce my expenditure. I feel like if the government even showed some level of willingness of saying, okay, this is what our expenditure has been, but now because this budget is so high, instead of just thinking, no, let's just tax them because, apparently Kenyans, you have so much money to just give to the government, let's just tax them, keep taxing them and make more money. Instead of thinking, how can we then reduce this expenditure? How can we reduce what is being allocated to discretionary spend and to, the DP's house and someone's house being renovated, a house which is worth less than even the amount that is being allocated for the renovation. It's just like, it's not making sense. I feel like even some level of goodwill from the government to be like, this is how we are accountable for the previous monies collected in the previous budget in the previous financial year, and this is like now what we are planning to do to reduce expenditure going forward. There would be some level, because also them assuming that taxing more let's say they tax more on pads, okay, so then that means we are all still buying at the same level, not realizing that obviously if you overtax and people can't afford to spend the way they were spending before, then we will spend less on those items. You spend less on those items, it ends up just being a zero-sum game, because now it's like you taxed more, but people are buying less. So what have you really added? You know, what have you collected more of?
Where are we going? What are we doing? There was also a question of over-representation, because when you look at MCAs, and nominated MPs, nominated senators, nominated Angoa. There are just many nominated.
Now that's where.
Now I need you to know that a nominated MP makes the same amount of money as a regular MP, right? The one that you actually went and voted for. Okay. The only difference is allowances, and they make 710,000 Kenya shillings a month. That is what we see. But wewe ukiangalia wa maisha.
And you see, Amina, this is why there is need for civic education, especially among everyone, not just the youth, because the average Kenyan citizen should know the roles of their MCA, the roles of their senator, the roles of their MP. Alafu akishajua na jue what they receive at the end of every month, and the money that's allocated to their constituency ama their county. Alafu angalia what's been going on in their county, the developments that have been done. Kama kuna anything significant or anything substantial that the government official hasn't done, then it's time to do something. It's time to do something.
The math is not mathing.
And then a random thought, I had planned to say this. You know, it's so funny that the same government officials wanasema Gen Zs wanaenda protest na Uber, wanakam na iPhone, alafu wanaenda kula KFC. Are we not seeing the same politician in designer clothes? Come on. Wearing shoes worth 300K, a watch worth 500,000.
All right, so I know you saw this. Honorable Sudi gave 20 million, was it? It was a fundraiser, I imagine. And I think earlier today someone also gave 5 million for a construction of a church. And someone said, but we don't have schools.
Yeah, true.
No, come on.
So where are you getting that money? A lot of people leave, it's become a business, you know, joining politics, right? For a lot of people, you leave your lucrative corporate job. We've seen very many people do it. And now is when you start to understand, oh, okay, that's why they do it. Because, 700,000 can't get you the latest G-Wagon, a big.
Are they giving from a personal capacity, or is it like this is the constituency is donating these funds?
Oh, first of all, the country does. Taxpayers do pay for a lot of these. We pay for all the allowances. What am I saying? And for some of these elected officials, they get cars. So MCAs, I know they don't get car allowance, if I'm not mistaken, but MPs do. Now they also do get a house allowance. For example, senators get around 35 million and MPs get 20 million to buy a house. So, and there's the car allowance and there's so many other different things, which is what you were trying to drive to. That
my question
one person is just not two here.
You know, someone said it would take 25 months. Is it 25 months?
21 to recall an MP.
No.
To make a certain amount of money.
Yeah, exactly. For you to be able to give 20 million. So is the government doing tax audits on these government officials? Because how can
the question is, are they taxed?
No.
And then there's also, do we have access? By the way, we do not have access to information about the national debt and how it's being paid. And people are demanding, and I think it's a good thing that people are demanding to understand, to have access now to the information regarding the national debt, because the song has gone on for so long that the nation is in debt and we're using your taxes to pay for the debt. So we need information regarding the same. Okay. Break it down for us.
I need to bring in somebody. If you could just join us on the set. We don't look. Okay, come on in. Yes. Come on in. Nikani kwangu. Wanisikia. Caswell McOre. Yes. All right. Now, let me just tell you how crazy this is. I reached out to him. I think it was in the evening. Yes. And then I thought, oh, he won't respond. I mean, I'm calling him on the day of. And then he came. And I didn't even, I was like, wait, what?
Absolutely.
Goja. But I'm glad that you're here and I'm glad that you made it. I know you've
well.
had everything that they have been saying. Is there anything personally that you feel is just as punitive as what they have shared and maybe, you know, they've left out that you would want to talk about?
Absolutely. I think a lot of us have gained the attention have courted the attention of Kenyans this past few days because of the role that we have played in the recent demonstrations. And I feel like giving the finance bill, which we have potentially lost, especially with regards to what it is that we wanted to achieve, giving it prominence over the kind of work that we are doing as young people is taking away from the good work that we are doing. And I personally would love to just echo the sentiments of the panelists that you have on here who have spoken quite clearly and elucidated on these matters in no uncertain terms, in terms of matters to do with the punitive taxes that we have. And I feel as if the government, the advisors of the executive branch of government do a Wikipedia search and ask themselves, how do we increase the GDP of a country? And then they see, this is how to increase GDP. Tax breaks and tax deductions do not really do much. So what do they think? They think to increase the taxes. The other way they see to increase the GDP, because without the risk of getting too academic about it, how we increase the gross domestic product of a country is by ensuring the amount we make in foreign export is more than what we spend on imports. So basically, but when they see that increasing government expenditure is there as one of the reasons, they think it's all about flying private and spending as much money but that's not what it means by government expenditure. Two, as young people, it's gotten to the point where we are not, because if you've followed the discourse online, what the MPs have been talking about is age of the protesters and class of the protesters. Anything but the very contentious finance bill. They will do anything to distract us from the conversation that we actually need to do. And that's why, personally, I'm here to just reiterate on what the activities of our week are. Remember, today as being Friday, we went to City Mortuary to take our comrade's body and people went to the mosque. Right now, at midnight, music will stop in every club and people will shout, reject the finance bill or want to ask the government. Tomorrow, which is Sunday, the main agenda of business is occupying the churches. So ensuring any MP who voted yes will not be given podium to speak. And this also because the church politicized itself in ways that we do not need to talk about right now. But we need to ensure that those people do not get the chance to do that again. On Monday, we boycott their businesses. On Tuesday, we go back to occupy Parliament. On Wednesday, we will occupy State House.
Wow.
And on Thursday, we will close the roads leading into Nairobi on Wednesdays. And Thursday, we will occupy State House because we will not be sold out. And we've seen what the President of the Republic has been doing, taking sides in political divides, sides where Kenya should be neutral. And what we are saying as young people in no uncertain terms, and that's what I represent when I stand in these demonstrations, stepping into the role that has been recently bestowed upon me, in no uncertain terms, that we will not cower. We will not be afraid, and we will not be shaken by any of the proceedings that or tools of state machinations that they use to intimidate us. We refuse to be. We remain unbowed.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right. Wow. You wanted to clap for him, Osoro. Please. You're spoiling.
Nothing to spoil. No,
Let's just end it there.
No,
What are you?
Whatever I'm adding now is Nini, the sherries. Sherries.
Now you see?
I mean, first of all, the gentleman who just spoke. Ni vile haja kuambia alisoma wapi. Hati atakuambia. A very good friend of mine.
Naisikia.
Umesikia?
Nimesikia.
Umesikia watu wa Alliance? Umesikia?
Nimesikia.
Umesikia watu wa Alliance? Umesikia?
You went to Alliance?
I can't say this off camera. The camera
the camera has.
Which camera should I look at? I mean, this is a matter of.
They had to actually turn up.
Say it out loud.
My name is Kasmo Makoure, and I went to the Alliance High School, and I'm here representing the Old Boys Club to remind you that yes, Kimani Ichung'wah might have gone to that school, but I am Alliance High School's repentance for Kimani Ichung'wah's mistakes and his misdoings. That's what I'm here to do. I am here to atone for that. We owe you an apology.
Let me digress a bit. It's so funny. He's in the short saying I was in Alliance, and I made a skit
about
I was in Alliance. So yeah.
You have no idea. I'm the stereotypical Kenyan who went to Alliance, takes only cold showers, does not take coffee or sugar. And that. I must. I'm vegan as well.
Now, you know what's so crazy is that they've done this every generation. Like every generation of Alliance, they somehow, we're talking about the finance bill, he's just like, but this one is also, no, I'm joking. Yes, they will. Oh, sorry, you wanted to say something.
I mean, no, there's a lot I want to say, but because it's not my day really, I'm also learning a lot from the Gen Zs, I'm at the younger generation. Yes. But one special thing about Caswell, or Kaz, Niati, is also a very great musician. He's doing great. You know, as a musician,
we want to distract sasa.
As a musician, siusikie sasa naanza kuongea unanikata. Why between my speech? Why? I do what?
I hate you. Hey, the pressure increases.
I mean, I think it's our day to learn. But one thing we also have to acknowledge is the goodwill that Kenyans have, you know, the environment that Kenyans have accorded the Gen Zs, so that we can see them, you know, push this thing to the very end, that they must be heard. And I think out of the crowds I saw pale kwa protests, I mean, we ukiwa the special generation really fight for independence, and then sisi millennials, we were there. And I think it was a very nice, it was a nice setup. It was a cocktail of generations. And I saw one clip where a mom, I don't know if she was really a preacher, but she was there with a Bible. And when she met the youth who were demonstrating, alikuwa zile za, my sons, I'm there for you, I love you, and I do what? I encourage you guys to go on. Yeah. And then the youths were like, sisi tutawapigania nyinyi mlikosa fanya nini kutupigania. That's what will sum up my feedback from the mtandao. I mean, mbia mono kabisa back to you.
We haven't even read comments online. People
no, that's enough. That's enough comments. Comments za nini?
You took the time for the comments to give a speech.
I mean,
to give a TED talk.
I mean, that's enough for the right. I mean,
it's okay. Let me just ask him something. Now, what if the president doesn't sign it and doesn't, you know, it doesn't pass, and what next? I mean, how is this a movement?
This is just the beginning.
Just the
beginning.
Whatever
it is that we were doing, the finance bill was just the beginning, because what we're coming for next is their inefficient governance. We're coming for corruption, because all of our expenditure will be traced to debt. We need to understand, where is this debt? What project is it financing? How is it being used? Because there's no way they will privatize public profit and publicize public debt. There's no way that they make the most when it's time to reap, but then when it's time to pay, all of us pay. So we'll go for every system. So what we're doing here is not a fad. And what they've done is they've started a movement unintentionally, because even if they try to stop us, it makes it better. If they take me, Anini is going to take it over. Mike is going to take it over. Charisma. Like, there are very many names that are uncoordinated. The Blaze official said they're looking at our bank balances and wondering who's funding the revolution. Yeah, so it's one of those things. We will not stop.
All right, so now we have to wrap it up. We just have, I think, maybe 20 seconds. But yes, Mushiri.
I think in view of what
take it.
Kaskazini. In view of what Kamaisana said, the first step to implementing what he has said is spreading information. Right. Because I think for the longest time the youth have lived in political ignorance. And that's what they're using to, you know, to dismiss us. They're dismissing us wakisema, they're not even informed. Actually, when you listen to how they're referring to us, ni kama wanasema nyinyi watoto mnasema nini. But we're going to spread the information. Hata kama ni educate ourselves on matters, taxes, policy making, agriculture, the roles of the senator, MCA. By the time in a few months, every single person atakuwa anajua what happens within the government.
Yeah.
Because we are intentional about it, and we're gonna get the civic education out there to every single Kenyan.
Yeah, that's how young people now have, you know, started talking about, wait, this MP has been serving for how long? And so, wait, we could...
There's increased scrutiny, and I feel like this is just the beginning. It's the thing that has now sparked everyone's interest in, like, we need to be involved, we need to figure out what's happening, because I feel like before it was just like they could do anything. It's just like, oh, no one's really gonna read it, no one's really gonna check. But now people are reading, now people are checking. So hopefully this begins just like a snowball effect into every single bill, every single law, every single act, every single donation, you know, every single secret deal that happens. It's like, no, wait, we want to know what's going on, you know?
Ale nilikuwa nasema, unajua saa zingine unaweza skuma mtu Murugi, and then you get to a point and you're like, hold up. Yani, you opened their eyes and you told them the reason you're broke is because Murugi wants a 6th car of the month. And you're like, wait, but I don't even have food. You know? All right, so we have to wrap it up. Mume, we have said, we have shared, and we hope that people have heard. Yes, Mike, I know there's a lot more to say. Kasmal, I know. I know. And you know, we've done an hour. My director is asking what is happening.
Tell them to follow us on social media so that they can keep informed on what's happening.
Yes, Amy, real quick.
One last thing is, we'd like to stop budgeting for corruption.
Let's go.
Like, we'd like to stop having in our budget. All of us have pockets, may have pockets, but I'm not taking what people have worked for really hard into my pockets. So we'd like to stop budgeting. Every time we make a budget, we're like, oh, tuwaeke ile yao wataiba. Let's stop that.
Also, when they're taxing us a lot so that they can pay the debt that they've taken, right? As a country, that we've taken as a country. Tutaangalia na lazima mtalipa hizo deni.
We need a
whether this deal
breakdown of everything.
Right? If this deal does pass, tutaangalia na lazima mtalipa.
I'm so sorry, Anini. You said, how did you end that?
Oh, I was saying, venye wanasema, when they increase the taxes, ndo walipe deni. So we'll be more keen and lazima mlipe hizo deni. If the bill does pass, tutakuja. At the end of the year, financial year, next year, when you propose another one, haya, mmelipa hiyo deni hadi wapi? Tax zimeenda wapi? Hatutasahau.
No matter what.
Review the previous one.
Exactly.
This time ikipita, tuna review next year before tuweke wengine.
Thank you.
Hii mlisema nini? Thank you. Ati umefanya nini nayo? Thank you.
And
and also, you know, people are saying, let's not put in politicians, let's put in leaders. And, you know, a lot of people have ignored it for a long time, but when you see a politician in a graft case of 4 billion, and then next, you know, in a couple of months, you see him holding a position that, again, he's handling hundreds of millions.
No, do we not have sexual offenders still serving in parliament? Do we not have rapists serving in parliament? Do we not have murderers serving in parliament? Do we not have
alleged?
Yes, alleged, whatever it is. But we like do we not have people with whom we've seen proof? And that's what we're saying. We're here to change that. Personally, I'm here to change that.
Okay, and I think this is the image that I think KJ was talking about when he was saying AI. Is this the one? The one right behind you guys. Is that the picture?
It is, yes.
Okay. This is
such
really, that is the one that you found and you saw and wanted to speak about. In fact, this, anyway, but no, the pictures that you were seeing were very real. This one, yes, is AI. I didn't even know even hit to say I was wondering.
This one and that one where there's like somebody with a racket hitting a.
But why are we giving that story
from another one? You know,
why are we giving that story airtime?
That's wow. You're right. You're absolutely right. You're right. Thank you very much, Amy. Thank you very much, Murugi, for your bravery. Thank you very much, Caswell. Thank you so much, Mike. Continue empowering, educating people. Anita, you are one interesting young lady. And how old are you? Oh, Sam. Come on, maybe say
a lady her age.
Yes,
his salary in a German company, what they were doing between 1930 and over.
I understand. And then you'll also have to answer to Gen Zs where you are on Tuesdays and Thursdays, and now they're watching what you're going to be doing. It's a very interesting world we exist in right now. And I could not believe that they got people to go out to the streets who would have never ever been to the streets, people to talk about politics, and the nation is paying attention. mothers, grandfathers, uncles who've always ignored and felt it was too fun, there's nothing that they could do. The younger generation is telling you that there is something that they could do. And I need you to really take this seriously if you are a politician who's watching this, because I know a lot of you have been watching. This is not a joke. This is very real, and young people are frustrated. So instead of undermining them and underestimating their power and their voice, I think you should call them to the table.
Yeah.
You know, Sifuna had once said, I think sometime last year, that, you know, they should talk to us, government should talk to us now, because when people get angry, there'll be no one to call to the table. You know, and everyone here is an individual. So
what table?
I'm just saying,
we do not want to be called to the table. We do not want. We're
talking
not
situation. Okay. We have to go. We have to go. So Osoro, you've said bye. Gaza, I'm so sorry, Gaza. We haven't really spoken today. But you could say Wagwan and tell people, oh, there we are. And then you could tell people where you'll be this weekend. Even though I don't think mtu anaweza ngwelelea gig sai. Amo Tanzania to reject finance bill tukiwa.
Si wote.
Hapa na hapa
tunapata. Ndio kwa maana hii weekend sina gig.
You're a solid man.
That's nice.
Actually,
like that. We appreciate
actually nimeona kwetu constituency yetu ya Kabete on Monday tuko nje. Go there too.
Osoro, you want to say goodbye?
Amina, you know, as a man of action, sisi uko nyumbani, we don't joke.
Actually,
I come from Nyamira County, and my MP alifanya jambo ya kugodhewa tena. So namugodhea hapa hewani. Yeah, because voted no. Because tulishamuongelesha. Yeah.
Nice.
Because tulimuongelesha. So I'm fully aware, but for now, Amina, because it's time is up, the conversation will go on, because ndio kuanza tu. I think mimi na Casmel sisi tuko kwenye happy Sabbath mood. Wacha tuende. Yeah, tuko kwenye happy Sabbath mood, wacha tukimbie kesha.
Yeah, okay. Sasa ni wale leaders wa huko area yetu. Working kaburana. Nutaka saye siara bikia. Wari kuninchufa. Yani dan wari chufa dan. I'm just wondering how all our leaders, we come from the most marginalized part of this country. Tunatumia ngamia, watu hawana maji. And I know it sounds so funny, but it's 2024. There's some things that we should not still be discussing if you come from the northern region part of this country, Germany. And they all just said, other than one leader, they all just said yes.
But Amina, it's true kwa kuwaga shida. Like kuwaga shida.
Kila kitu ni
so hakuna kuingia soko.
Hakuna wewe nitakugonga.
So huko amuingi soko.
Mimi unaingia tu straight uingi bafu. Unaingia tu straight. Akisema mimi nakwambia. Anyway, but yeah, so let's start talking about it. Thank you so much, you guys. This has been so cool. Like, we could next time tunago the 10 pia hapa on the show again. So please make sure that you follow everyone online. There's so much we could say. Rest in peace to Rex. I understand there's another gentleman as well who also lost his life. I'm not sure if it was confirmed. It was confirmed. So there have been two now. May their souls rest in peace. Comrade Power. Hatuwezi sema hivyo hapa wewe. Unataka nifutwe. Hebu by Mike. Watu wanataka niende na wao na unasikia huko kwetu my MP wanatu waste. Thank you. Oh yes, social media real quick before they go. Amy.
My what's
handle.
Yeah, my handles. Thank you. My handles are amy.ouya. Every platform, you'll find me there. Go that Tena.
Come on. Murugi Munyi on all platforms.
Yeah.
Casmo Makoure. Sorry,
No.
as your son. Naomba msamaha. Casmo Makoure on every platform. The spelling of Casmo is Kasmuel. People have been getting that spelling wrong.
Okay. Yeah, international media.
Casmo Makoure. Mcoure.
It's Mushiri Mike on all platforms.
Yeah. Mushiri Mike amewhisper because he's like niko na wengi guys.
Okay, do it like Anini. Fanya kama Anini. Utoke, pia wewe utoke nje. Fanya kama Anini on every platform, and I also lead an initiative called Wagwa Nairobi. That's where all the youth should be. So,
wow, there's still so much more to talk about. We haven't even discussed Hitman, which I want to talk about.
Mina,
kifo cha Kisimani. Anyway,
Marina, you're not asking me my age. You're not asking me.
Bye. We are saying bye. Thank you so very much for watching the show.
Huh?
Yes,
Amina, you're not asking me my handles.
I wasn't, clearly.
Okay, guys, follow Amina. Mtanipata hapo kwa comments zake.
Sawa. Ayombo hivyo. Osoro is his handle across all pages, on Twitter, on ile ingine ilikuwa inaitwa? Okay. On TikTok. Tinda nilikuwa nasema. Thank you so much for watching. My name is Amina Abdurabak. Catch you next week right here on NTV. Gaza King, take it away.